And hello again viewers, and we are in the business end of the Christmas season. But for today, we're going to have a little bit of a respite in this bonus video. So it's a Sunday, I've had a lot of turkey in various guises. I'm going to take the opportunity to go for a not so Christmassy Sunday roast in the midst of all these festivities. So I am outside Harrods, and in case you just happen to not know what this place is, well, how shall I put it? I guess in 1849, a Charles Henry Harrods opened up a very small convenience store here on Brompton Road to take advantage of the increasing popularity and footfall of the area. I believe the shop would have sold anything a typical corner shop of the era would have done at the time. Victorian era energy drinks and vapes, 19th century mobile phone SIM cards, and perhaps even the odd lottery ticket or two. Over the years, something, Mr. Bean, and then something, Al Fayed, something. It would now be recognised as a colossal luxury department store, attracting all kinds of people with deep pockets and aspirations from all around the world. And I've heard there is a restaurant up on the 5th floor, so I'm going to have a little meander through and go and look for it. So I shall see you all by the table eventually. And welcome to the grill on 5th. This is on the 5th floor of Harrods. This is a rather formidable sized card menu. It's a very formal in terms of styling, but it's still very swanky in terms of decor, which I'll hopefully get on camera soon. Alright, so this is going to be a Sunday roast event. So you've got the two options of turkey and British rump and braised short ribs. So I've had plenty of turkey, so I'm going to give that one a rest for today. So that leaves us with the British rump. The starter, I normally don't tell you what I'm going to order, but I think to save time, I'm going to go for the faux meat, fruit, porcini, mushroom, truffle and miso cashew parfait. That's quite a mouthful, I know. The reason being is I would have fancied the beef tartare, but I don't want to double down on the beef today, so I want to put a bit of variation in, and the other options don't seem to appeal to me right now. Quick peruse of the other items on the menu here. There you have it.
I mean, the funny thing is, so close to...
Okay, I had to ask for the drinks menu, and I've just been given two lovely leather-bound menu booklets to have a flick through. So this one, I believe, is just the cocktail catalogue of dreams. Some signature cocktails here. If I do go for a cocktail, I might fancy something festive, even though I'm supposed to be pretending it's not Christmas right now. Yeah, just a quick cursory view here. Sorry if I'm rushing through very quickly. I just got a feeling that the waiter will be back very shortly. I don't want to annoy the staff here. The reception was a little bit prickly, I must admit. It's almost as if, I don't see the likes of you coming down here, if you know what I mean. But that's just one person though, so it's not right to just place off over a mistake of one member of staff. The main drinks menu is probably the more extensive wine list. Yeah, here we go. A couple have just been sat beside me, so I'm going to have to try and lower my voice a little bit, not too intrusive. I'm just giving the red wine a bit more attention this time, so we do by the glass and very handy carafe portions as well. So at the grill on the 5th at Harrods, this is the seasoning instruments. Sorry, my vocabulary is wanting today. So you're going to have to season it with little sea salt flakes there. And they're very tactile, and you've got a rather hefty pepper grinder here. It's got some fair weight in it. Okay, so this has taken place a lot sooner than I anticipated, so the first course has landed before my drinks have been served. So yeah, empty glass there. Look, yep, I'm getting rather thirsty, so I'm going to wait for my wine and water to come here first, and then I'll get started. Of the way how they presented this, it's supposed to resemble some kind of little orange, or perhaps a what you call them, easy peeler, nectarine type fruits. Red wine has landed, and the water. Let's give this wine a little nose test and taste to kick off the proceedings. Almost slightly ripened red fruit. It does remind me of the bottle I tried some months ago. It's certainly the same wine just from the smell alone. It doesn't smell aged at all. It's fairly young. It's going to be one of those, you just drink it, don't overthink it. Yeah, that rhymes, just realised. So on behalf of the grill on 5th at Harrods, cheers. Plenty of body, plenty going on. The classic Bordeaux spice. Perfect match for the beef. I'm going to feel so guilty for cutting for this. It looks so delicate and lovely presentation. Let's remove the garnish there. Slice it like a cake. Okay, so yeah, I've utterly ruined it now. It once looked so pretty, and I've done some serious damage already. Okay, so let's get this on the piece of toast, of the piece of sour bread here. Right, I'm going to do my best to make this bread last. There's 2 slices in fact, so, but I'm not going to bite huge chunks out of them like I normally would. That's surprisingly rich and earthy. It tastes mushroom flavours in there, lots of depth, lots of complexity. Kept my palate busy eating that, and the bread certainly helps. It's a slightly bit tad too refrigerated in terms of temperature for my liking, but I think it will eventually soften up. It is busy. I think I'll say 90% capacity right now. Good atmosphere, mix of people of different ages and backgrounds, so diverse customer base, I would say. Thankfully, music's not too loud, not too intrusive either, just a little bit of the old 1950s rhythm and blues. And you notice I'm putting a lot of the parfait on the toast. Notice the flavours, just trying to emulate that sort of duck pate, duck liver pate with orange in there. Yeah, I would say, in terms of vegan alternative, it's done a very good job at it. I'd say that unless you were very picky or in a bad mood, I think you'd struggle to tell the difference between this and a real duck liver based pate or parfait. As long as you don't over-analyse it, I think it's a good attempt as a non-meat alternative. Yeah. Okay, let's give the Pauillac another taste, see how that pairs well with the parfait. That silkiness of the Pauillac washes down the pate like a treat. Okay, slice of toast number 2. Here we go. So, yep. You get 2 slices of toast, and I'm halfway through the parfait, so I'm on track. I've just learned that Harrods, in its former, more modest form, was the first store in the UK to adopt the use of escalators. The unsuspecting shoppers of the time were so discombobulated and found it a bit of an ordeal that they had to offer brandy on the top of the escalator once they've ascended to their floor. Yeah, it's a shame they don't offer that today. That would be quite handy, especially with all the shoppers and how busy it is today. My goodness, I had to weave through quite a lot of people today, and got told off for filming as well, which is quite strange, but there you go. So as I continue to eat this parfait, it's the initial chill is starting to go away, so you got to taste more of the flavour. And it's getting better as you eat it. Okay, so I'm on my home straights for this parfait on toast. I managed to get the remaining amounts of the pate onto the last piece of bread that I have. So I think the rule of thumb is, imagine the amount of butter you need to put on a slice of bread or slice of toast, but quadruple it, and I think you'll be able to get everything all in. And the mains has landed. My goodness, look at the colour of that beef. I'm not going to say too much, I'm just going to let it speak for itself. Okay, let's get started with the roast. It's been a while since I had a Sunday roast. I think the last one was Prospect of Whitby, I believe. That would have been October time. Yeah. Let's get a little bit of this gravy on here. It's it's thicker. It's a good consistency for a gravy. You don't want it to be like a dew. You want something that could coat the meat, but not too much. Just want to taste the meat as well underneath it. I believe this is the short rib as well, so it's been slow cooked and then taken off the bone. I have a very nifty steak knife to assist with the cutting. Got a little bit of sinew and fat in there, as you expect with rump. It's not the most tender of cuts, but very flavourful if you do it right. No, not finished yet. Delightful. It's cooked medium rare. There is only one way to cook for all. I believe if you want it more well done, then you can request it, but I don't understand why you want to, as you'll mask out the flavours. But you can certainly taste plenty of flavour in there. A little bit trimming needed. I think maybe a serrated blade would have done a better job. You can see this is a standard blade. So if it had serrations on there, it would make the job far easier. And the gravy complements it perfectly well. Very beefy. Not much in terms of additional flavouring in there. It's just a good old honest gravy, right consistency to match the beef. Yeah, it's just what you want. We tender stem broccoli, cooked just right, al dente, not overcooked. But on the other hand, the carrots are very, very soft and tender. I believe they've been slow cooked. That's what it says on the menu, so it's deliberately cooked this way. Lovely. Lots of flavour in there. It's not just carrot, it's something's permeated into it. Absolutely delicious, very sweet, but savoury in there also. Excellent carrot. Now let's try a roast potato. It's got some of the horseradish cream dressed on top as well, which is quite an unusual way to flavour potatoes. It's a good amount of crispness outside. Right, I'm going to go for the smaller piece here. It's quite a too much of a mouthful, the other one. The potato, roast potato, very flavourful. But in my opinion, just a touch of seasoning. That's better. Alright, so just realised there is more to cover. The Yorkshire pudding and the short rib of beef, which is placed inside the Yorkshire pudding itself. I'm going to try it naked without the gravy first. Oh wow, that's delicious. It's got a slightly. If you ever go to an Asian Chinese restaurant and order some slow cooked beef, you get that star anise going on in there. So it looks like they kind of made it in that sort of way. Yeah, it goes quite well. I'd say it works. It works. Yeah, I'm reluctant to put any gravy in this now, with flavours that are already going on. Maybe if I decant some of the short rib of beef, we'll put our lovely gravy into the Yorkshire pudding. There you go. Yeah, solid Yorkshire pudding. The gravy has a lovely natural sweetness and it helps zhuzh up the Yorkshire pudding quite well. All classic flavours going on with the exception of the short rib of beef. Everything else is as you'd expect from a classic roast dinner, but done very well. Another piece of the roast potato. You're reminded of the horseradish cream that has been dressed on the potato. A little bit of heat, but some sharpness. Some more beef. Yeah, I have to say I'm really impressed. You forget you're in Harrods just based on the flavours, the taste, the presentation. It doesn't scream international luxury store vibes. So I keep saying vibes and need to think of a better way, better term. So I do apologise. It's hitting all the right notes, pushing all the right buttons, whatever phrase you want to use to describe it. Yeah, so far so good. A quick palate cleanser there, if you ever call red wine that. I am running out of things to say, so I'm not going to waffle on for the sake of it. I just wished there was a serrated steak knife. That is my only complaint. Not had to season much other than the potatoes, which is kind of standard practice in a way. You season to your own preference, but everything else is, yeah, spot on. Okay, so table has been cleared and wiped clean, and I've been given the dessert menu. I believe I just about had enough room to fit something in. Here are the options. A good mix of offerings here. Pineapple carpaccio, that sounds very exotic, especially in the middle of, late December in London. The pear and port Charlotte sounds very festive, in keeping with this time of year. And of course the Yule log. Wow. I did say I was going to go for a non-Christmassy Sunday roast, but it is that time of year, so I'm going to have to concede and maybe go for something a bit festive, just to, in reflection to it being Christmas. And the third and final course has landed. Yep, you are seeing right. This isn't a Yule log, I'm afraid. They've ran out as it being very close to Christmas, so I had to settle for something else. So this is the Basque cheesecake. Lovely, generous portion, I must say. I was expecting something only half the size of this, so yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And to accompany it is looks like I believe so, like some kind of raspberry compote, very tart to counteract the richness of the cheese. Just get this into position. Very soft, very fluffy, as you would expect from a a good cheesecake. Here we go. It is so creamy, so smooth on the palate. Yeah, perfect amount of sweetness. You can see I don't know if my camera can get it, but there's little specks of vanilla in there. Absolutely delightful. I have another piece and then I'll try it with the compote. Batch number 3, let's give this a try with the compote in the mix. Swing this over. I don't want to put too much in it. It looks quite potent, very rich in red. What's it? What's the right colour to? What variants of red do you best describe that as? Answers on a postcard or in the comment section even. There we go. That compote is very potent. I did put a little blob, but even that was slightly overpowering. So may even have to drain it back a bit more. Now just another touch of it. As good as the compote is, I think the cheesecake is rewarding enough on its own. It's got plenty enough to keep your palate busy. Lovely balance between the cream cheese, vanilla. Absolutely stunning. It is so light. And I've used this phrase before, but it is indeed comfort food cranked up to 11. So I've not really talked about the history or many anecdotes in this video. I'm sorry. It's pretty much a food focused one this time. And also bearing in mind this restaurant is fairly new. It only opened early in January 2025. So there's not going to be much going for it in terms of anecdotes. They called it the grill on the 5th, as in on the 5th floor, as a sister restaurant to the grill restaurant, which is based down in the food hall. But that's about it, I'm afraid. It's got a roof terrace dining area, which would probably make more sense during the lovely sunnier climes. Okay, so we'll need some time alone to finish this pudding off, and then I will see you outside for the wrap up. Won't be long. Well, that was a very British style Sunday roast in a very touristy hotspot that is Harrods, albeit without the warm hospitality, in my own humble opinion that is. I think the current owners of Harrods is trying to steer this place more towards the luxury airport duty-free shop style of hospitality, I reckon. Yeah, not my cup of tea. And to be fair with you, I don't think I want to vlog Harrods again for quite some time. It's quite hectic out here. Tourists everywhere with umbrellas, bags and such. And you're just trying to avoid getting knocked over. Everyone's just in tourist mode. Anyway, enough ranting. It's the Christmas spirit and got to remain positive. So I hope you've enjoyed that video and for whatever it's worth. And I look forward to following up with the next one, which will be coming along very soon after you watch this video. Or take care now.